Hi, I'm Kelly Hydebrader, and this is Lenawee. We have our cameras in the hands of our student reporters all around Lenawee County to get that first-hand look at the incredible experiences right here in our community. Summer is coming up, and kids across Lenawee County are trying to get back in shape. Some Adrian High School students might find it easier with that Powerlifting Club. Let's hit the gym and see what's up.
I heard on the announcements last year, and I was kind of into lifting and sports, you know. And then somebody was like, hey, you should do it, like, you might be pretty good. So I was like, all right. So I came out and I talked to Mr. Skills, and he was like, okay, you can. So I went, not a lot of training, and I was like, man, this is so cool, the atmosphere. Everybody's like into lifting like you are, you can talk to people, it's all fun. And it's a great way to like meet new friends, talk to people, and just lift too. And that's how I got into it, and then it just took off from there.
It's a nice program because we do have a couple students who might not play other sports and they just like to lift weights. So it gives them an option to get involved in the school and in the community, so that's kind of cool. And for the athletes, it gives them a purpose in the off season to continue to get stronger and prepare for their athletic endeavors in the future.
It's fun because you're with your friends and you get to like, your relationships like grow because you're just helping each other and pushing each other.
Biggest benefits, number one, it gets kids prepared for the other sports they're going to play, gets them stronger. And I think personally that to see their confidence grow. Kids have become much more confident in who they are as individuals. They're much more confident as lifters. And seeing them get those PRs on bench, squat, deadlift, just in the weight room or at meets is pretty cool because it's them versus the weight. There's no excuse as to why they can't get the weight. They have to be able to do what they can do. So it's pretty neat to see their confidence grow and become better lifters and better people.
First and foremost, a huge reduction in injury. That's our top priority is athlete safety, and that's the first thing we've noticed. We haven't had any, knock on wood, major injuries. In addition to that, we have kids that feel better. The buy-in is there more, and it gives it a little more of a team aspect, just something new, something for kids to look forward to. They get excited being here just with the new turf, and new equipment's always exciting, so it's exciting for teachers as well. So we really enjoy how it's gone so far.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're in the weight room. Some days we're squatting, some days we're benching, other days we're like cleaning or power cleaning. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we're in the gym working on like lateral movements.
We'd like to keep growing. As we have a new football coach coming in, hopefully by tomorrow we'll find that out, and he's a big weights guy as well, so we hope we can find more of a need to expand. Hopefully we'll outgrow this room, and who knows, down the road maybe we'll have a field house, just a larger facility, because it's a tight space, but we make very good use of what we have, and we're very efficient when we do it.
My favorite part about this class is I noticed major improvements with my sports, so that's nice to know that I'll be benefiting from it.
Favorite things? Probably just being there, because like the atmosphere is like, it's awesome because everybody loves lifting and you can talk to anybody because we all like the same stuff, and it's like a culture, you know, and we just get there and we're like, hey, what's up? Like, I've never seen you before, but what's up? And that's kind of cool. It's fun watching like your friends lift and cheering them on. Because like, let's say I got a friend, he's benching, he gets a new max, and it's like, yeah, it just feels good.
What a great way to benefit yourself and make some new friends. Now we're heading to Clinton right after this break, so don't go anywhere.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Clinton Redskin students are having fun in class, and they are using something we all love, Play-Doh. Let's listen in.
We are working on our EIE kit, which is an elementary engineering kit.
We've been making Play-Doh our final project, trying to make it better and working together as a team.
Our group has been doing really good. The first time that we made it, it turned out really, really bad, but then the second time it turned out good.
They're hands-on. Kids really enjoy it. Who doesn't like getting their hands messy with Play-Doh and creating something as a finished product?
It's really fun. I'm so happy that we get to do this.
That looks like a very fun science lesson. Next, we head to Blissfield Schools, and they have created a writers club to inspire young authors.
Writers Club is like a really welcoming environment where we're all about acceptance, not judging, and self-expression.
I am the president of the Writers Club. We're sort of like the Blissfield underground.
Most of us write poetry, but you don't have to write poetry to be a part of the club. You can write any kind of writing at all. It could be, you can even write songs and share those songs. I've done that a few times.
This is still a really small club, but that's better because it's more tight-knit. But I've been working a lot on this, and I'm really glad that it's coming together.
A really accepting environment. We're all really goofy, and we're like a family. And what happens in Writers Club stays in Writers Club because we don't want the things. Because we share a lot of like really personal things in Writers Club, and we don't want other people finding out about them or whatever, because you share them with people who you trust.
What Writers Club means to me is it's an escape. It's an escape from high school. You know, it's really stressful. There's a lot going on, a lot of work, and we've had a couple other meetings before, back last semester in the library. But from what I hear, they all got kicked out.
It's a space where I know I can be entirely my natural self. I don't have to worry about like saying something and someone making fun of me for it. And when it comes to education, it really helps improve in my writing because we're sharing it, we're critiquing, we're telling each other what we think about our writing, and that can help with other classes for writing papers or something. On an emotional and personal level, it's just something where I know I can say what I want to say, and others can say what they want to say, and I don't have to worry about really anything really mean or harsh being said about me through what I'm doing. For those of us who are in it, it's like a space that I think a lot of us really need because we didn't have anywhere else to go. Like we didn't do sports and we didn't do whatever else there is to do. So we just had like Writers Club, and those of us who are in it, I think we all really enjoy it.
Nice group effort. The students in Blissfield are very close, and it's really great to see how they inspire each other. Now, writing isn't the only interesting thing these young students are learning about, though. Let's take a look at Morency's Medical Detectives unit.
So we are doing a unit called Medical Detectives, and it's a Project Lead the Way unit. Today they are showing you what they learned in the vital signs lab that they did.
Okay, so we're going to be taking respiratory rate. It's right here. He's going to be feeling on his chest for his breaths and what's happening. Over here, she has a 30-second timer, and he's counting how many breaths he's taking. For an adult, what normally like the average respiratory rate is would be like 12 to 20. How many ever breaths he takes, he's going to multiply it by 2, and that'll be what the respiratory rate is. You would check the respiratory rate to see like if something's wrong about him. If he's breathing really fast or breathing really slow, something could be wrong.
We're finding the pulse on his wrist, but you cannot use your thumb because it will mess up the pulse rate. If you timed it for 10 seconds, you just have to multiply his pulse by 6. If you did it for 30 seconds, you'd have to multiply it by 2. His pulse was 60 exactly after I multiplied it. If like someone's passed out or something laying on the ground, you have to take it to see if they're alive.
We're working on blood pressure. You slide the cuff up so that it's a few inches above the bend in your arm, and you have to make sure the cord goes down that part of your arm, and you're not supposed to talk and you're supposed to just relax. If this number is higher than 120, your heart is working harder than average, and you might need to calm down or do something about that. And if it's lower than 120, it means that your heart isn't working hard enough and it could stop. When it's too high, either they're already having a heart attack or it's a possibility that they might have one. And if it's too low, their heart could stop if it's not like working hard enough.
We're doing temperature, and they have the temperatures in their mouth, and the average temperature is 98.6 degrees. Hers was 98.2. You read it by these things. You see whatever the side numbers are, and then those are the main, and then you go to the points, and then whatever dot it lines up to, like on a graph. That's how it works.
We all have human bodies that sometimes are not feeling well. Something happens at home, or you're out playing with your friends, or something happens in a restaurant. You have some basic skills. It doesn't mean that you're a doctor now, but you know, you can feel confident to be able to do some preliminary things. I've had kids already tell me, I really want to be an EMT, or I really want to be a nurse, and so it's already starting to kind of get them thinking in that direction, and it just gives them confidence that they're actually able to do it.
That is great, and learning the basics of vital signs is a great thing for students to get familiar with at a young age, because it's always good to know how to take vitals and also help students stay calm and understand what's happening if they ever need any of these things done. Stay tuned for a peek at the hydroponics system here at the Tech Center right after this.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment, and that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
Welcome back. Students at our Center for Sustainable Futures campus built a hydroponics system, and they are learning about the fish and how to help them flourish.
So we have a aquaponics setup here, which aquaponics, for those of you who don't know, is a system that grows plants without using dirt. We only use water and floating islands. So we have a main gray tank that will house our tilapia, which are the fish that will produce waste. From there we have tubing that runs underneath, and then that waste will go through the tubing into what's called a swirl tank, and all the waste will settle at the bottom so we can take that out. And the cleaner water that has dissolved nitrates and nitrogen in it will go through 3 grow beds. It'll go up and into one, and while it's going through the grow beds, we will have plants in there and floating islands that will take those nitrates and nitrites out and use those to grow. And then by the time it gets up to our duckweed tank at the top, which houses the food for the tilapia, it'll be entirely clean and safe for the fish to be housed in.
Okay, so we have a bunch of little minnows called rosy reds in here, and they're to eat all the insect eggs if any insects lay eggs in here. And we have the little ducks in here, if you can see them, because this is the baby tank, and then we have the big ducks in that one because that's where the big fish go. We're growing duckweed in this tank to feed all the fish, and it will just endlessly keep growing and feeding the fish over and over again.
Here we have a smaller aquaponics tank. We have parsley that's over a foot long. And we also have lettuce that's pretty impressive. It was like kind of hard to get it back up in speed because like algae, over time it grows along the side of the tank, and it gets into the pumps and it makes the water flow less, because like you need air in the water for the fish to breathe, and then you need the fish for the nutrients for the plants, and then without that you wouldn't have anything. So it's been like kind of trial and error for a lot of things, and recently over the really hard winter we had, the fish died. All 17 of them died, but luckily we took 4 out for mating pairs, so those are in the classroom right now, so hopefully we can get some new fish in pretty soon.
All right, so our class, the Natural Resources program, has had the opportunity to work with Chris and Troy. They know a lot about aquaponics systems, and they met our teacher, Mrs. Gilhouse, and they decided to come in and see what we were doing in our class. So they came and helped us set up our aquaponics system, and they've been teaching us a lot about it. And it's been a great opportunity for us to learn more about this whole system and what we can really do with it.
Well, we came, Chris and I showed up, we had an interest in what's going on here as far as the solar panels and the geothermal energy. We have an interest doing the same thing with our project.
And once we were out here, we were really impressed, and then we got looking at the aquaponics setup that they had before, myself being a gardener and then Troy having the aquaponics experience before, and we kind of said that we could help tweak it. We were asked to come back, and so we've been working with the students for about the past month or so. I've never done this before. Like I said, Troy has, and so I'm actually here learning as well.
Once they realized that we don't have to have chemicals or a lot of inputs, and we can get these plants to grow probably better without all the chemical input, and they're going to be healthier to eat if it's a vegetable or fruit. And then on top of it, they're growing fish that they can also eat. Once you get it, it's an awesome system.
I think that's just it, just working with the kids. That's been the most enjoyable part of it, just watching them learn and seeing them actually get enjoyment out of them. And I can see a few of them would actually take this into their future, and they would, do this at home, or, maybe in their adult life they could use this and they could grow food to provide for their families. So I think that's probably the most enjoyable part, is just watching them learn.
I'm heading into the field of agriculture, which I'm really excited about, and learning from experts in the community of the aquaponics system. Our teacher can only teach us so much in the amount of time that we have in class, so having these people come in and give us that extra push of knowledge is really helpful for us, so that we can further our knowledge as well.
Oh, that's great. I mean, they're really engaged. Originally, I went to Adrian College and earned a teaching degree there, so I love working. This kind of brings me kind of full circle of what I originally went to school for. And so it's great working with them. Like I said, they're really engaged. You can tell that they are enjoying this. They're asking questions. They're coming up with solutions. There's times where we're sitting there looking at a step in the process, thinking, okay, what can we do? And they're shouting out answers, and they're coming up with some pretty good stuff.
Sustainably grown agriculture and fish, especially we live in Michigan. Michigan we've got the Great Lakes all around us. I mean, fish, and we're overfishing our oceans and lakes. I mean, we're taking everything we can get, and we're depleting it. So the future for aquaculture with fish is near, and the more these guys understand, and they can go out and use these practices, or there are people hiring, they need help with people that know this stuff. These guys, they have a leg up.
Well, that looks like a very interesting link to a growing industry after these students graduate from high school. And that's what we do around here. Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Kelly Hyde-Brader. Make it a great day, Lenawee.